excited to skip the last 10 minutes of your show and to come into class on time. That was like high five. Cool.
Yes.
Nice. And yeah, good to see you again. Julieta, welcome to class. How's it going? Julieta, how's it going? Mm-mm. And Carolina, how's it going with you?
I'm fine, Sasha.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, welcome back. Uh, what are you gonna do for the rest of the week and maybe over the weekend? Do you have any big plans? Anything exciting?
I I will work because I
Okay.
have to work and on the weekend I think I will go to Rio.
Nice.
It's been a while and
Cool.
I have an apartment there. It's empty.
Yeah, take me. I wanna go to Rio. Ah, it's been too long.
It's
Um,
in Ipanema.
yeah, nice. It's actually where my friend has an apartment in Ipanema. Um, cool. Really pretty place. Um, like I said, a little bit jealous. And we've got Mariam. Mariam, how's it going?
Fine, how are you?
Doing really well. Um, and yeah, so Mariam, what have you been up to?
Well, to be honest, just working and working and working
Just
and
working.
and writing dissertation is a hard task, I'm telling you. Sometimes I just cannot manage what should I put down. The idea are there, but it's difficult really to, like encapsulating the words and sentences. Yeah, I had a hard time to manage my dissertation study because I have to, submit a couple of chapters. This is really time consuming and difficult.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I'm sorry. That sounds like not very much fun.
Working days and night, and it is just 12 hours, one pages, and you expect to finish at least like couple of pages. I don't know. The process is very slow. I feel like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think that any academic papers are just like very time consuming because you have to, it's just time consuming. All right, well, good luck. Hopefully it gets better.
Thank you.
Yeah. And back to Julieta. Julieta, how's your connection now? Doesn't look good. Rani, how's it going?
I'm good.
Nice, good to hear. Rani, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. And Rani, I don't think I've had you in class before. Where are you from?
I'm from Taiwan.
Okay, cool. And where was your picture taken?
It's a lake in the United States.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I like that lake very much.
Do you know where in the United States?
It's in Washington.
Okay, yeah, okay, cool. I was gonna say it looks like very E. And Monica, we skipped you. Monica, how's it going?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay, nice. And how was your day?
Oh, it was a good day. Actually, I was at work most of the day, so nothing special for now.
Okay, cool. And maybe do you have any plans for the week?
Well, it's Christmas time, and there are a lot of Christmas market in every town here in Italy,
Yeah.
so hopefully I will go and visit some of them.
Cool. Okay. Hopefully it goes well. Try not to spend too much money. Carolina, how's it going?
Hello, teacher. I am doing well, and you?
Yeah, can't complain. Yeah, and Carolina, what have you been up to? What have you done today?
In the morning, I was studying English.
Okay.
And No more, nothing special today.
Okay. So studying English and nothing else. Good. And we also have Amp. Amp, how's it going?
Hi, teacher. Doing well, thank you. What about you?
Doing pretty well, thanks. And Amp, what's today? Today's Wednesday.
I
How was your
remember
day
was
today?
yesterday.
Yesterday.
No, today I am still finishing the Christmas decoration, and I hope
Okay.
to finish before the weekend.
Nice. Yeah, hopefully it goes well. Christmas decorating is fun. It's been a long time since I've decorated for Christmas.
Yeah.
Nice. And do you have a tree?
Yes, the tree is already and the nativity, but I need to put some ornaments around the house yet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Um, yeah, sounds fun. Something I kind of miss, but not really at all. It's nice to have like ornaments up and like have everything decorated, but like doing it and taking it down is just like not my favorite thing in the world. Julieta, Julieta, how's it going?
Hello, it's alright, thank you. But you cannot hear me.
I can hear you now.
Oh,
It's just very quiet.
really? Okay.
Mhm.
Is it
Yeah.
better now?
How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah. I don't know what that was. It was loud and not very pleasant. But yeah. Are you there still?
Yeah.
It's really quiet. You can't raise the volume.
Okay. I'm fine. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's just a little bit quiet. Not at the end of the world. But let's get started with today's class. So when we make corrections, keep an eye on the group chat box too, because I can't write on this one. I tried to get it into a document and it just didn't quite work. So let's start with Rani. Can you read the title and
Dear where?
So are you there, Rani?
Yes.
Okay, can you read the title and the place?
Okay. Barney. Place. Dislocate. Desolate is a desolate island. Plot. A bizarre experiment. Object to increase the intelligence of a very special rat.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that sounded good. Maybe bizarre. Can you repeat bizarre?
Bizarre.
And desolate.
Desolate.
Good. Any questions here? Okay. And Mariam, can you read the title or the first part in this paragraph?
Yes, August 30th. Just keep it up. I mean, carry on the paragraph like we are alone on the island
Yeah.
now. Oh,
Yeah.
so we are alone on the island now. Barney and I. It was something of a jolt to have to sack Ty Louis after all these years, but I had no alternative. The petty vandalisms I could have forgiven, but when he tried to poison Barney out of simple I cannot pronounce that. He was standing in the way of scientific progress that I can condone. I cannot condone.
Okay. Can you repeat condone?
Condone.
Condone.
I can only believe
Oh,
the
let's stop there.
alright.
Just brief ones. So petty.
Patty.
Petty.
Oh, petty.
Malice.
Malice.
Nice.
Malice.
And that sounded good. So petty, malice, condone. Yeah. Questions here.
Condone. Condone? What does it mean by condone?
Okay. Who knows what condone means?
Try to forgive.
Yeah, it's like forgive or like let go or let pass would be condone.
Oh, condone. I see. Thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, forgive. It's like give my blessing to. It's like say it's okay. And jolt is like if you stick your finger in an electric outlet, you will get a jolt. So it's like a shock, something that's unexpected, but unpleasant and like, yeah. Does that make sense? So it's the same as shock is a jolt. And petty, who knows what petty means?
A small, tiny.
Yeah. It's like small vandalisms, like not serious. And to sack. Does anybody know what to sack means? Okay, so if you... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. That's fine.
No, what do you think?
It's like feeling comfortable, something like when we are sleeping, something like that.
No. So to sack is to fire. So if you kick somebody out of a business, you're sacking them. You're firing them. Make sense?
Yes. I was wrong.
No worries. And so yeah, he sacked Talo, this other employee. Does anybody else have any other questions? Okay. So yeah.
Did you say that you wrote means what? I forgot.
Jolt is a shock. So something that is surprising or unexpected is a jolt.
Okay. Thank you, sorry.
Okay. No, don't be sorry. And let's have Ksenia. Can you read the next part?
I can only believe the attempt was made while under the influence of alcohol. It was so clumsy. The poison container was
This is a mistake. Overturned.
overturned and trail of powder led to Barney's dish. Taylor's defense was over the flimsiest he denied. Who else then?
Who else then? He denied it.
He denied it. Who else then?
Who else then?
Who else then?
Else.
Who else then? Else.
Yeah.
Else
Yeah,
then.
there you go. There you go. Just make sure that get that S. Right. I think that was good. Does anybody have any questions? Okay.
Yes, sorry. I
Go ahead.
forgot the meaning of flimsiest.
Flimsiest. It's like.
I,
Well,
I,
go ahead.
I don't get the a trail of powder ready to Barney's dish. I don't get.
Okay. So who knows what powder is?
It's poison?
Well, it can be poison. Powder is like anything that is like a grain. So something that is like very small in a lot of quantity. So if you crush like a pill, like an aspirin, it becomes powder. So something that is really, really fine. So it could be poison. Just any small, like really fine thing. So there's like a trail of it. There's like a little path of powder that leads to his dish where he eats. Something that's flimsy is not firm. It moves a lot, so it's like really weak. Does that make sense? Okay. So like if you have like a flimsy pole, yeah, it'll move a lot. It'll fall down easily. Juliet, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, nice. It sounds good too. Can you read the next part?
I'm taking a calmer view of the Taylor affair. The monastic life here must have become too much for him. That and the abandonment of his precious guinea pig. He insisted to the last that they were better suited than Barney to my experiment. They were more his speed, I'm afraid. He was an earnest and willing worker, but something of a clod, poor fellow.
Good. Guinea pigs. Guinea.
Guinea.
Perfect. Okay. And so really well done. Questions. So we've got a lot of difficult words. Nobody has any questions about these words?
It's not about words, I think. Well, okay.
Monastic is what I heard.
Yes, I asked it, and I agree with the person who said it is not just about the words. It's a bit difficult to understand, you know. And also Claude.
Okay, a clod is kind of like an idiot, somebody who's really slow. So what we use it's like a clod of dirt. It's like a big clump. It just, in this case, means somebody who's not very smart. So he's a bit of a clod, poor fellow. Monastic. Does anybody know what monastic means?
Like related to church.
Yeah, so like related to monasteries too, related to church. So monks often live like a monastic life. They live kind of alone, or in like a way that's devoted to only one thing. So it can be kind of a bit boring. So I guess to summarize for people, if you're not quite up to speed, this is a really short story too, so we're not going to be in danger of not finishing it. We're on a desolate island, so it's a deserted island. They're doing a strange experiment trying to increase the intelligence of a very special rat. So we're alone on an island. There were two people, and now there's one. So Barney is the rat, and Taylo is the person who has been fired by the narrator. So this person is writing a diary, sort of like a journal entry. And he's like, Taylo, my other worker, tried to poison Barney, the rat, just because he was being mean. He was standing in the way of scientific progress. Can't condone it. Can't let it go. So he fired him, and it was like a really silly attempt. Like the attempt to kill the rat was like pretty childish. It wasn't very smart. So he's like, yeah, he must have been drinking. And then a few days later, he's like, thinking better about the Taylo affair. He just must have been going crazy being alone here, abandoning his precious guinea pigs. So they were probably doing experiments on guinea pigs as well. So it's like, yeah, he was probably mad about that. Guinea pigs were stupid anyways. They're more his speed. So he's like saying Taylo is also kind of stupid. He was a good worker, but he was kind of stupid. Make sense? Is where we are so far? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Wisla, welcome to class. How's it going?
Thank you. I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing pretty well, thanks. Good to see you again. Hopefully you caught most of that summary. If not, feel free to ask questions in a bit. Let's have Carolina. Can you read until about?
Until what, teacher? Sorry.
About.
Okay. At last I have complete freedom to carry on my work without the mute reproaches of Taylor. I can only ascribe his violent antagonism toward Barney to jealousy. And now that he has gone, how much happier Barney appears to be. I have given him completely run of the place, and what sport it is to observe how his newly awakened intellectual curiosity carries him about.
Okay, intellectual.
Intellectual.
Good. Complete.
Which one, sorry?
Complete. Complete? So
Complete.
look in the chat.
Complete.
Yeah.
Complete. I can see the chat, teacher. I am on my mobile today.
Okay. Okay. And any other questions here? This is a little bit tricky too. What are mute reproaches? Mute reproaches.
Any complaints?
Yeah, like a reproach is a little bit different. It's like a judgment. So if you're getting yelled at for doing something, you're being reproached. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And so yeah, mute is silent without talking. Violent antagonism. What's that mean? And describe.
Competition. Violent competition.
Yeah. Competition is maybe a little bit of a nice way to put it. Antagonism is like more like hatred. You're like, yeah, he's violently like hating this rat. So an antagonist is in a story is the bad person, the person who like creates the problems. So if you have an antagonistic relationship with somebody, like you fight, you dislike them, competing isn't quite sufficient to cover it. Yeah, and ascribe. What's ascribe mean? Sorry?
To relate. Relate.
Yeah, it's like I'm like putting. I'm trying to think of a good way to put it. Like blaming. So blaming his violent antagonism towards Barney to jealousy. So jealousy is the reason. He's ascribing it to. Does that make sense? Was that clear?
Is that sent to attribute?
Yeah, attribute. Attribute is a really good synonym. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think we're also good here. Let's have Anna Carolina. Can you read the next bit until hates it?
After only 2 weeks of glutamic acid treatments, he has become interested in my library, dragging the books from the shelves and going over them page by page. I am certain he knows there is some knowledge to be gained from them. Had he but the key? September 8th. For the past 2 days I have had to keep Barney confined, and how he hates it.
Good.
Joshua,
What's that? Yeah? What's up?
I don't understand that phrase. From then, had he but the key.
Okay. So there is some knowledge to be gained from them had he but the key. So like this is an old way of speaking, so it's not really common anymore. It's like if he only had the key. So the key would be if he could read, so the author doesn't think that the rat can read. So he's saying, you know, there is some knowledge to be gained from them had he but the key, if he only had it. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And glutamic acid treatments. I think that sounded good. You did a really nice job. Any questions? Does anybody have any questions here? Okay, and we're with AMP. Can you read the next bit?
Okay. I'm afraid that when my experiments are completed, I shall have to do away with Barney. Ridiculous as it may sound, there is still the possibility that he might be able to convey his intelligence to others of his kind. However small the chance may be, the risk is too great to ignore. Fortunately, there is, in the basement, a vault built with the idea of keeping vermin out, and it will serve well to keep Barney in.
Good. Okay. That sounded really good. Nice job with vault, built, vermin, intelligence. Questions here. Does anybody have any questions?
Vault and vermin.
Vault and vermin. So does anybody know what vermin are?
Vermin are the parasites in your belly. Yes.
So yeah, any kind of like unpleasant creature could be a vermin. We often use them like rat-like creatures, so anything that's like a rat would be vermin. Bugs, parasites could also be vermin. Yeah, unpleasant creatures generally. And a vault. Who knows what a vault is?
When you, for instance, get married, you make some faults?
Not quite.
No?
A place where you keep the money at the bank, for example.
Yeah, so a bank vault is like a really secure location. So yeah, a vault is just like a really secure location, we can say. Make sense?
I have a question. I was wondering, is about the like animal? I mean, is a Barney could be a cat or dog? That someone want to confine that him or her. I don't know.
Read the object.
Rat.
Yeah, Barney's a rat. Yeah. So what we're having a scientist. He's trying to increase the intelligence of Barney. Talo has apparently tried to kill the rat. And that's kind of where we are. Make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Rani, can you read September 9th here?
Okay. September 9th. Apparently, I have spoken too soon. This morning I let him out to frisk around a bit before commencing a new series of tests. After a quick survey of the room he returned to his cage, sprung up on the door handle, removed the key with his teeth, and before I could stop him, he was out the window. By the time I reached the yard, I spied him on the topping of the well, and arrived on the spot only in time to hear the key splash into the water below.
Good. Okay. And questions here.
Frisk.
Sorry?
Frisk. Frisk.
Frisk is like feel around. So in New York, there was like a stop and frisk policy where police officers could like stop anybody they wanted and like feel their bodies for contraband, like drugs or weapons or whatever. So frisk is like to feel around. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And
So, what is sprung up?
sprung up is like jumped up.
So is this word common?
To spring? Yeah, so sprang is the past tense of spring. Spring is, yeah, to jump.
Oh, so the current tense is spring up?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Spied. It's like to see something. So if you spy something, you can see it. Make sense? Anything else?
I was wondering if Barney is human or rat.
No, Bernie is a rat. Bernie's a rat. Anything else?
So, why the key splash into the water? So where's the key? Where is this key coming?
So Barney, stole the key.
Oh.
Remember? So he removed the key with his teeth.
All right.
And then he leapt out the window. And then he was on the top of the well. The coping is like the covering. So he's on the top of the well, and he drops the key into the water.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And any other questions? Okay. And Monica, can you read the next paragraph?
I own I am somewhat embarrassed. It is the only key. The door is locked. Some valuable papers are in separate compartments inside the boat. Fortunately, although the well is over 40 feet deep, there are only a few feet of water in the bottom, so the retrieving of the key does not present an unsurmountable obstacle. But I must admit Bernie has won the first round.
Barney.
Barney.
Insurmountable.
Insurmountable.
Yeah. Can you also repeat retrieving?
Retrieving.
Mm-hmm. And okay, I think that sounded good. Any questions here?
What is the well? Although the well is over 40.
Okay, so the well is like a hole you dig for water. So yeah, the well is over 40 feet deep. So it's like a really deep well. So this hole for water is really deep, but there at the bottom of this well, there's only a few feet of water. So there's not a lot of water, even though it's a really deep well. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Insurmountable is like unable to overcome. So something that you can't do is something that's insurmountable. So, you know, Hercules, if you are familiar with myth, Hercules had 7 insurmountable tasks that he had to, you know, accomplish, you could say. They weren't actually insurmountable because he did them, but only because he's kind of Hercules, I guess. And Any other questions? Okay, and let's have Mariam. Can you read what happened maybe until surface on September 10th?
September 10th. I have had a rather shaking experience, and once more in a minor clash with Barney, I have come up second best. In this instance, I will admit he played the hero's role and may even have saved my life. In order to facilitate my descent into the well, I knot a length of 3/4 inch rope at 1 foot intervals to make a rude ladder. I reached the bottom easily enough, but after only a few minutes of groping for the key, my flashlight gave out and I returned to the surface.
Good. Okay, let's look at Barney.
Barney.
Facilitate.
Facilitate.
And then descent. And nodded.
Nodded.
Okay, good. So come off. So it's like end up. It's like you end up the second best. I don't think we've gotten to chafed. I think that's a little bit later. Yeah, so come off is like to, finish something second best. So, yeah, when we played the game, I came off second best. Yeah, I ended up. Came off. Yeah. Any other questions? I missed part.
Yes, I noted the length of 3/4
3/4 inch.
3/4 inch. Mm-hmm.
So I wish I could draw it. So he's got a rope, which is 3/4 of an inch thick. So maybe like 2 fingers would be 3/4 of an inch. If you like the width of 2 fingers, it's 3/4 of an inch. And he makes a knot. So he ties a knot every foot at 1 foot intervals to make it kind of like a ladder. Groping is like reaching around blindly and feeling for something blindly. Does that make sense? If you're groping for something, you're like kind of reaching for it without being able to see it. Any other questions? Okay. And I think we're with Ksenia. Can you finish this paragraph?
A few feet from the top I heard excited squawks from Barney, and upon obtaining ground level I observed that the rope was almost completely severed. Apparently it had chafed against the edge of the masonry, and the little fellow, perceiving my plight, had been doing his utmost to warn me. I have now replaced the section of rope and arranged some old sacking beneath it to prevent a recurrence of the accident.
Okay. Arranged. And perceived?
Perceived?
Yeah, perceived. Really good. Maybe facilitate? No, we already got that. Okay, nice. And any other questions here? Okay, so we've got chafed and masonry. So chafed is like rubbed against. So if something is chafing, it's rubbing really hard in like a destructive sort of way, would be chafing. Masonry is like brickwork. So if you have bricks making something, either a house or a bench, that's all masonry. Plight is danger. So he's perceiving my plight. He's seeing my danger. And any other questions? Utmost. Your best. Utmost is your best. You're like most intense. So I tried my utmost. I tried, yeah, my best as much as I could. Any other questions? Okay. So from what we know about the rat, do we think that? I guess we can finish this little paragraph. Julieta, can you finish the paragraph?
I have. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I have replenished the batteries in my flashlight, and I am now prepared for the final descent. These few moments I have taken off to give myself a breathing spell, and to bring my journal up to date. Perhaps I should fix myself a sandwich, and I may be down there longer than seems likely at the moment.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. Replenished is like replaced. So if you're replenishing something, you're like replacing it. You're making it better again, I guess. So yeah, if something is almost empty, replenishing it is making it full again. Hopefully that makes sense. And any other questions? Okay. Julieta, you had a short little reading there. Is there something that we think the scientist isn't getting? Do we have any doubts about anything?
Well, the rat, I think.
Yeah,
because
so
I think the rat cut the rope.
yeah, I think you're probably right. I think the rat was probably the one cutting the rope. It wasn't chafing against the masonry like the scientist says.
Mm.
Yeah. Good.
That's why the other guy wants to poison him.
Exactly. The other guy probably didn't try to poison the rat. The rat probably made it look like he was being poisoned. Good. Any other questions?
I have a question regarding the first line, some old sacking beneath. Is this sacking is like, because to sack means fire. I was wondering if...
Wait. What are you talking about?
The down, let's say, yes, this I have no replaces. Yeah, old sacking beneath. I mean, the sacking means fire, right? To fire.
Okay, so this is different. A sack is like a bag. So like a sack is like a thick bag too. So
I'm confused.
if we have to sack somebody is to fire them. So somebody's getting sacked, and it's because it comes from the term a sack, which is a big bag. So when you sack somebody, it's like you literally are putting them in a bag and carrying them away. It's like that's kind of where the term comes from. It's like you're taking your employee, putting him in a bag, and throwing him out in a bag. Does that make sense?
I see.
So that's why we have like firing somebody as sacking them. It's just a kind of like a rude term of it. It's like not a nice way of saying fire somebody, because yeah, you're being put in a sack and all your stuff and yourself is thrown out. Make sense?
Yes, yes, thank you.
So yeah, he puts some bags beneath the rope so it doesn't rip. Any other questions? Okay. And I think we're with Julieta just read, so we're with Carolina. Can you read until C?
Until C. Okay. Poor Barney is dead. As soon I shall be the same. He was a wonderful rat, and life without him is not worth living. Living.
Yeah.
If anyone reads this, please, so don't disturb anything on the island, but leave it like it is a shrine to Barney, especially the old well. Don't look for my body, as I will cast myself into the sea.
Okay, good. So we've got some spelling errors here.
Yeah.
So what? Okay. So poor Barney is dead, and soon I shall be the same. He was a wonderful rat, and life without him is not worth living. If anybody reads this, please do not disturb anything on the island, but leave it as it is, as a shrine to Barney, especially the old well. Do not look for my body, as I will cast myself into the sea. Ana Carolina, can you read the next part?
You, you, you might bring a couple of young rats and leave them as a living memorial to Barney. Females, no males. I sprained my wrist is why this is written so bad. This is my last will. Do what I say and don't come back or disturb anything after you bring the young rats, like I said. Just females. Goodbye. Bye, Will Stanton.
Good. And so, yeah. What's good pronunciation. What's happening, Amp? Amp?
I wish he never compare females with rats. I wish. I don't know.
Well, so females and males are not just humans. So female and male it's like anything. So any creature can be female or male. So it's not talking about human females, it's talking about rat females. If that clears it up for you a little bit. Amp, what's happening?
I don't know who is writing now.
Who is writing now?
I don't know, the rat.
Yeah, it's the rat. So yeah, what happened?
After this experiment?
So yeah, this
well, he is available to do it. He is writing the register, the old days.
Yeah, so we've got the scientist who is writing, and on the 10th he went down into the well, and as he's coming back up, he notices that the rope is like really frayed. The rope is almost broken. And Barney's at the top squeaking. And he's like, wow, yeah, thanks for warning me, little guy. Thanks for telling me that the rope was going to fray. And so he replaces that section of the rope, tries to get some old sacks beneath it so it doesn't rip again. Then he goes back down into the hole. And the next day, we've got like a lot of spelling errors. And the rat is asking for female rats. And so past that is throw, sprained. Like so, if you sprain your ankle, it's like you ruin, you hurt the tendons in and ligaments. There's a sprain, and then a shrine. A shrine is like a place of worship for something. Does that all make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So, Rani, what do you think is happening? Can you explain?
You mean the whole story?
Yeah, what happened in the story?
I'm still reading. Cannot really understand.
Okay. Monica, what about you? Do you think you can explain what happened in the story?
I think that the rat has become really intelligent due to this experiment, and he killed the researcher.
How?
And
How did he kill the researcher? How did he kill him?
down in the well,
Yeah, so he cut the rope.
He cut the rope and he probably drowned down in the well, in the water.
I think he just got stuck because the water wasn't very deep. The researcher is probably stuck in the well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's exactly what. And so the rat is now, he's learned to write badly, and he's trying to get female rats onto the island. Yeah. Okay. Does that make sense, Rani? Do you understand?
Yes. So whose wrist is broken?
In the last part, who's speaking? Who can explain?
So the rat, Barney.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pretending his wrist is broken.
He's pretending he's the researcher. Who has a broken wrist.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is he making this error by purpose, or he just cannot spell it right?
He can't spell right because he's a rat and he just learned how to read it.
Okay. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe Mariam. What did you think about the story? What do you think about it?
Honestly, I just remember a movie. There was it was a monkey. I feel I don't know that explain how they became intelligent because of experience and occupied the planet, something like that. Yeah, the planets of the apps, something. I remember that story when I was reviewing the story in my mind. But I would say. I'm gonna buy one a rat if it is like that. I love intelligence animals, so it sounds like very very good experience that dealing with someone. I mean, we think or consider animals not that much intelligent as a human being, but sometimes we are wrong.
Yeah. Ooh, actually, there's Animal Minds. I've got a cool podcast for you guys if you're interested, and it's about what and how and if and how much animals think. And so if you guys are interested, I think it's about an hour long, and it's really good. So you guys should check it out. It's about animals and animal thoughts. If you're interested, it's in the chat box. And what about you, Ksenia? Any feedback, any thoughts or opinions on the story?
I like it. I think it's fun, but I feel pity for this man. I think Red is so cruel because this man fed him. I think he liked him a lot. But yes, it's real devil. It's not Red.
Yeah, poor guy. He was a little bit naive too, though. You have to admit. He might have deserved it. What do you think about this part here? What do you think about that?
So here, did his work at the last minute or maybe hours of his life, I don't know. So this work and rat was all for him. No?
Sort of.
Perhaps I so he thought that he probably would escape. Yes, though?
Well, so this is
don't
before
understand.
he goes down for the last time. Like, this idea, he's like, maybe I should fix myself a sandwich, because maybe I'll be there longer than seems
Yes.
normal. I mean, what's that mean? Like, do you think he has an idea that the rat's going to keep him down?
Maybe, yes, he thought that rat was going to help him. Yes?
Yeah. Well, because he's still above, so he's just come back up from the well, and he's made it the first time, and he thinks it's chafing, is what he says in his diary. He's like, well, you know, the rope was frayed. I think it was chafing. But then when he's like, he gets a sandwich, he has like a little breathing spell, he like trying to relax. Before he goes down again, he's like, you know, he has a sandwich because he might be down there more than that might seem likely. You know, it's like maybe he's doubting that the rat, you know, is good. It sounds like maybe like a little bit of foreshadowing that he's got, or it's like a little bit of knowledge. We are out of time. Thank you guys for coming in. Hopefully you enjoyed this story.
Thank you. Have a great day.